From horrifying tales to feel-good sports stories, it is another episode of Popcorn and Root Beer. Trash and Jake are with me, and we're about to bring you some of the best movie takes in the business. Let's get to it.
Grab your popcorn, dim the lights. It's movie time, we're taking flight. From the silver screen to your earbuds here, we're diving deep, so lend your ear. Action, drama, comedy, gold. Stories fresh and classics old. We'll break it down, scene by scene. From indie gems to Hollywood dreams. Roll the credits, let's begin. Talking movies, where do we fit in? Heroes, villains, twists and turns. The love for cinema always burns. Roll the credits, it's time to see what makes the movies magic for you and me.
Welcome, one and all to another edition of Popcorn and Root Beer, and we are back doing what we love, and that is talking movies with you guys. And I am joined by two people who need no introduction, but I'm going to do it anyway because I'm paid by the word. To my left, which might be your right, I'm not entirely sure how the mirroring works on this, is the one, the only, the queen, Trash Sandwiches. What's going on?
Hello. Not too much. The queen, as in the queen of the Rainbow Bowl, you mean?
Yes, and just in general.
I will flex whenever. Yes, of course, just in general. Thank you. Having a great evening and happy to be here and talking movies with y'all.
Love having you here. And to my right, maybe your left, I'm still not entirely sure. It hasn't changed in the last 30 seconds. Is the man, one of the few men I know who can pull off a mustache, Jake Parry. What's going on?
Oh, living the dream. And it's important to note that Trash is not only the queen of the Rainbow Bowl, but is also the queen of making y'all money out of this bunch here.
That is true.
Thank you.
That, you know what? I actually forgot to add that as like a graphic today, but we're going to have you talk about it like in a little bit when we go to get to like Kalshi cuts. We're going to really have you break down your math a bit. Trash, do you think you could pull off a mustache?
No, absolutely not.
It's unfortunate.
I can't even pull off short hair. I tried it once. I can't do anything above like that.
Now, do you think it's like because you didn't commit to the bit? I see a lot of people with longer hair, women mostly, they don't commit to the bit, right? I think you need to go full Anne Hathaway with like the little like pixie cut.
So I did once, and that's how I know that I will never go back.
Do you wind up looking like Justin Bieber? Is that what happened?
Maybe it was before Justin Bieber. It was bad. It was like a picture I saw of Mandy Moore. I think this is gonna date way back when, how long ago this was, but like, oh man, my hairstylist did try and convince me, to her credit, not to do it, and I barreled ahead. But we all have to do it at least once.
There comes a time in everybody's life who has ever had like someone consistently cut their hair where they say, "Don't do that," and you have to say, "I'm not listening to you," and you do it, and that's how you realize that there are people who are professionals and things for a reason.
Yep.
These people are stylists for a reason. Like, and they're like, this is what I do for a living, but okay, go for it. And then you wind up with some sort of tragedy on your head and it doesn't work. Thankfully, hair grows back for for some of us, for others, not so much. And then like they wind up with a bad haircut and then they go bald. So that's the last thing people remember about their hair.
It's not an issue for any of us here. I'll say we all have great hair.
I know, it's kind of crazy. Especially because like my dad is like, my whole family, all the men are like bald, and they went bald like early 20s, and I am in my early 30s, and I'm good. I
gotta ask the question. Moms, does your grandpa on your mom's side? Oh, also bald.
Well, I mean, they're dead, so that also doesn't help. But yes,
pre-dead.
They're all pre-dead. They were still bald. Like you would find their like skeleton, and there wouldn't be like the hair left. You know what I mean? It would just be like, it would just look. You'd just be like, oh, grandpa.
Just a smooth, shiny.
Yeah.
Oh, grandpa.
For all of you who are alive out there who may be new to the channel, please, if you would, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about us. If you're a returning visitor to the channel, a frequent flyer, hi, how are you? Like, share. I'd ask you to subscribe again, but you can't. If you haven't subscribed, but you're here all the time, like, what are you doing? Come on. I also want to point out that we are still the only R-rated show on IBT now, and we're holding out as long as we can. which really means that no radio station wants us yet. We're
Fuck
not.
yeah.
Yeah, we're not popular enough to be.
Fuck it.
We're not popular enough yet, so we got to get there. So please help us out. In the meantime,
We'll clean it up, we promise, but we'll keep it fun.
We'll try. In the meantime, I do need to do some housekeeping here, and I want to promote Wanna Parlay. It has almost nothing to do with us directly, but it can make you money, and that's what we're all about here at Popcorn and Root Beer. Wanna Parlay creates fun and exciting competitions that connect people. They embody the joy of winning, the heartbreak of almost winning, and all other emotions that you will experience during the competition. From the brains of 2 former Kansas State college football players, it's all about stacking legs, competing with real sport lovers like you, like me, like Trash, and maybe not Jake because he's a little too smart for the rest of us. And getting real cash wins every day. You can multiply your money by up to 1,000 and cash out fast. If you're ready to get in the game and flex those parlay legs, download the app for iOS and Android. It is in the Play Store. And get a 100% match bonus when you use the code IBT at sign up. That is the 3 letters IBT. That, again, is the code IBT. You get 100% match bonus at Wanna Parlay. The link is in the episode description. And that's all the promotion I'm going to be doing for the rest of this show. Everything after this, we make no money to promote. So it's all honest responses from here. I will say I actually do use Wanna Parlay, and I do
too.
That isn't like quite a sellout.
Yeah, I've like 6x the money I put in there. So I'm
that's the goal. And they give you like all this like free money. And I said this the last time on Popcorn and Root Beer when I did it with Rod when we talked about SummerSlam. Which, oh my God, what a fucking debacle that turned out to be. Have you guys seen the discourse going on Twitter now about WWE and all the, oh my God, holy shit.
No,
I was at my friend's birthday party and they were watching it. So it
turned into a goddamn debacle because like Brock Lesnar is like a terrible human being and he got brought back. It's a whole thing. So that's what happened there. But I'm not going to give them any more of my time right now because I want to talk about movies and I want to talk about a movie I'm so excited to get to because we're going to do trailer time next. And that means for the first time ever, we get to torture Trash Sandwiches with a horror trailer. And I don't think I've ever been more excited to do a show than I am like right this second. So
I made them stop playing it in the pre-recording test of this, to be clear, because I said I don't want to have it spoiled, but I'm like, I don't want to watch it more than once, man.
This is gonna be so
like, I'm already scared.
I actually can't wait. I actually cannot wait. So we're gonna get to trailer time now. I'm gonna drop that little intro, and we're gonna see you on the other side. Let's get to it.
Hey, lights down, screen up. Got a minute to feel this rush. First frame hits like a spark. New world breaking through the dark. Yeah, it's trailer time. Get your hopes up high. Let it tease, let it scream, let it paint the sky. It's trailer time. We're live in the hype. Only seconds, but it hits like a whole damn life.
We're over here now. Hi. So, trailer time is quickly turning into one of my favorite segments because I am such a just like nerd for the movies that are coming out that I can't help but get excited to talk about them with you guys. And when I was deciding what we should watch, it's so rare for a horror movie to be kind of on its own right now, where there's like nothing around it that I could justify not using it as the trailer. Because we had like Fantastic Four and like the summer has not been really kind to the horror genre. Jake, I feel like you would agree. Outside 28 years later, we got
I was gonna say we got 28 years, and besides that, I mean, anything that has come out, it just hasn't been good otherwise.
Yeah, this looks amazing. So, without any further ado, and everybody cross your fingers because the last time we did this, it was a fucking disaster. For Wicked, like, was it Wicked 2 or was it it was Fantastic Four.
Fantastic
Wicked
4.
2 went well because the universe knows not to like fuck around with Cynthia Erivo like that. By the way, before we even get into this, did you guys see her as Jesus in Jesus Christ Superstar? Oh
cannot say I
my
did.
God. It's all over TikTok, Jake. You got to go watch it. It's incredible. Adam
It is really
Lambert is
good.
Judas. Cynthia Erivo is Jesus. And I could die happy.
To be fair to me, I like just got a cell phone back after not having one for like 4 days because mine broke. And I was like, it's going to start working. I guarantee it. No, it was shot. Didn't start working. But I have a new phone now. So I'll actually be able to get back on TikTok.
Well, that's good. Jump on and watch Cynthia Erivo play Jesus. But in the meantime, me, you, Trash, and the rest of the people watching this, we're going to watch the Weapons trailer. And let's see how it goes.
This is a true story that happened in my town. So this one Wednesday is like a normal day for the whole school. But today was different. Every other class had all their kids. But Mrs. Gandy's room was totally empty. And you know why? Because the night before, at 2:17 in the morning, every kid woke up, got out of bed, walked downstairs, and into the dark. And they never came back.
Let's hold right there for a second, shall we? Whoever decided that that's how they were going to start that trailer, unbelievable.
Yeah, there's something eerie about it being a kid telling us this story where it makes you kind of go, oh, they're not serious. And then it's like, oh wait, she is in the classroom and
it just
nobody's
gets
there.
darker and darker, and there's this just eerie silence almost surrounding her. Trash, how you holding up? You still with
I
us?
set off the eerie vibes from the first second, because what do I think of when I think of eerie children all alone? I think of like The Shining and like, ugh, no, it's
Yeah.
creepy from the get-go.
Oh, it's wonderful. Let's keep going.
I don't understand at all. Why just her classroom? Why only hers?
Where are our children?
We have a lot of emotional parents here. I think it's best if you keep some distance from this place.
Matthew, where are you? Where did you go?
This is where the story really starts.
Oh, I was ready for a jump scare there.
I know. I still am.
Oh, it's too good. It is too good. I love it. I am so excited. It comes out this weekend. I am devastated that I have a wedding to go to on Saturday. Otherwise, that's where I would be seeing that movie. I may still go see it Saturday night. Like, I might just pack up me and the boyfriend in our wedding clothes and hit the movie theater.
Oof.
Wow.
How long could a wedding go for? Do we know how long weddings normally go for?
What time does it start?
If they're respectful, the ceremony
4:30?
itself is like 15 minutes and the rest of the night's
If it
just the
starts at
reception.
4:30, it's the whole evening.
Yeah, but like, will I be able to get to like an 11 o'clock movie?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
You
Yeah,
can
okay.
leave the reception whenever you want.
That's true. I can.
Yeah, and if it starts at 4:30, like 10, you're good.
All right. That's what I'm thinking. Like, I'm a grown man with agency, right? Like, I can do what I want. All right. What did we think? How did we feel? Trash, I'm actually just asking you because Jake and I, like, this is what we live for. But you don't.
I feel very uncomfortable. I don't like the violent stuff at the end. So, like, if you just want to give me the mind fuck, I can kind of sometimes sort of do a mind fuck movie. That being said, I used to do it a little bit more, and then I had a little too much mind fuck of my own, and now I can't do a mind fuck. But like, oh, once it gets to the violent stuff, that's when I'm like, oh, I can't watch that. But like, I don't know what the fuck happened with the kids. How is the teacher involved? I want to know. Can you guys spoil this for me after you see it so I don't have to see it? But I know.
I will happily spoil it
Oh,
for
yeah.
you.
I need to know that
after
the
I
kids
see
are
it.
okay.
I will be seeing it as soon as I possibly can. So, you know what? It comes out Thursday night. We're all going to be in Canton, Ohio.
I am not going to see it.
Come on. Like, we could go and have like a little popcorn and root beer. Like, when else are we all in the same state, number one,
I'll
and in
watch
the
a
same place?
different movie, but not that one.
Oh, it'll be so good. It'll be so much fun. Jake, maybe you and I need to go.
I'll see how sober I am at that point in the evening. There's a
valid
very
point.
high point,
Fair.
very high chance that my blood alcohol content will be higher than the ticket costs.
I might just go by myself then, because like I kind of want to see it.
Or set to go.
Oh, that'd be funny. That'd be funny. I would like that. I liked this trailer though. I think it was very well made. You know what? I'm gonna say this. I think trailers are having like a renaissance. I think we're getting back to like good trailers.
We are,
and I think
sure.
we got to really garbage trailers for a long time.
That's one of the things, like I've talked about it when we do these before. Like, I don't want the trailer to give me everything. I've seen so many trailers where it's like, all right, I've seen the movie now. Like, that actually built up so much intrigue as to what's going on. And like, of course, I had to Google the movie real quick. There's 18 critics who have already reviewed it on Rotten Tomatoes. It's got 100% right now.
Unbelievable. So great. I knew. You know what else just got a really high Rotten Tomato score, and I just saw it. It was fantastic, by the way. Highly recommend. The Naked Gun. Loved every second of it. It was so funny. I want to see
it.
It was so funny. Oh my God. It's like a pure comedy. Like, if you're expecting anything heartfelt in that movie, you will be disappointed.
It's not The Naked Gun.
It is start to finish jokes. And like their commitment to the bit, unbelievable. Would recommend. Absolutely loved it. Any final thoughts on weapons before we move on to Kalshi cuts?
I'm damn
It's a
excited
good
to see
trailer. It brings up the hype. I will not see it.
Oh my God, it looks so good. And Benedict Wong with like his eyeballs like popping out of his head, and so it was just so cool. I'm so excited.
They also pushed the release date for this movie up like 4 months. That's usually a good sign.
That's usually a pretty good sign that they moved it from what would have been a December release, which also would have done pretty well. So
yeah,
it
was actually January 16th.
Oh, that's a dead in the water release date. That's wow. That means
they took it from
phenomenal
gap filler movie to they're like, hold on, we're on to something here.
Yep, they were like, we have something like that's gonna make a lot of money because that's why you put something in the summer. All right. We're going to jump into Kalshi cuts. Jake has some stats for you on the other side of this drop that I am excited to share with you. Let's get to it. Let's hit that little drop, shall we?
Under the neon lights where the shadows dance, we ride the rhythm, take a chance. Blades of sound slicing through the night. Kalshi cuts, bringing fire to the fight. Kalshi cuts, sharp and clean, carving paths in a midnight dream. Feel the beat, let the echoes rise in the heart of the city.
It always disappoints me that this is the one I sing to myself the most.
Yeah.
Like when I'm just walking around my house, I can't help myself. I'll just be like, Kalshi cuts, sharp and clean.
No, same.
And I'm like,
you're not alone there, brother.
It's like so annoying. I hate country music, but it's the one that like got stuck in my head, and I'm just like, oh God.
It's an earworm.
It is. Yeah, that one's just really good. All right. So pretty much every show Kalshi cuts has been like a staple. Usually we have the forecast. No forecast this week. Strange for us. But as far as numbers go, and we'll include the forecast in this as well, because Jake put in the time, put in the effort. How are we doing so far? Some of us are doing better than others.
That is for sure. So Kalshi has actually been the one spot where we've all consistently been pretty solid. Some of us have bets that haven't cashed yet. Some of us have episodes that we weren't on. So that's why you'll see some variance in these numbers here. But on 10 picks so far that have been confirmed, Trash is sitting at 8-2. So 8 correct picks, 2 incorrect picks. I am sitting at 6-4-1. So 6 correct, 4 incorrect, 1 push, which is also part of that's my own fault. I predicted Smurfs to be bad and then changed my tune on how bad it was going to be and was still like got it wrong on the recap, but I digress. And then Steve is also doing very well when it comes to Kalshi, sitting at 8, 4, and 1. So 8 correct, 4 incorrect, and we both have a push.
What the hell did I push on?
Amateur. The
Oh,
amateur.
really?
Yep.
Oh.
You pushed on that. I
better.
pushed on Terrifier 3.
Oh, okay. That's weird to push on because we're like, that means it landed on the exact number that it had to break at.
Yep, on the exact Rotten Tomato line.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That's crazy. Trash. How about you at 8 and 2? 80% success rate.
I'll take it.
That's crazy. Like, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, when I say, like, we're the best betting show on the internet,
we have the numbers.
We have the numbers to back it up. Like, I'm not just blowing smoke up our ass. Like, I wouldn't say it if we weren't good at it. I trust our numbers. We're turning a profit. And if you're listening to us, if they just took all of our bets and laid down their money on it, like, you're just doing this for a job at this point. You got to tune in every 2 weeks because you're like, I got to get paid. I got to get paid. It's my paycheck.
Yes, we have done very well on Kalshi. A little bit more of a mixed bag when you start to look at the forecast a little bit, but also you have to factor in with some of these forecast ones. We've done multiple bets where we were specifically picking long shots with high odds. We're doing, we're making picks where there's 27 different potential outcomes, and we're just trying to make a guess there. So these numbers are a bit more, take them with a grain of salt. For forecast betting on the year, counting everything as a single unit bet is what I decided to go with. We have trash dead even.
Okay.
Across the board. I'm sitting at minus 0.16 units. So basically dead even.
Good. Yeah, that's good.
And Steve is minus 10.18 units.
So I've lost all my money because one unit is 10% of your whatever you have in there. But I do tend to, like, I do want to defend myself and say I don't.
You do some wild bets.
I do the wild bets that I'm like, this is the best underdog that probably won't win. But if one is going to win, it's this one.
Yeah.
Kalshi is the one that I think really, that's where you look and go, this is the line. This is what we think.
Yep.
This is what we're going for, right? Like, we're trying to make people like a little bit of those like 10-leg parlay kind of wins when we're doing the forecast. And when we're going straight at it with Kalshi, we really bring it. So we're going to do some more of that today. And let's see if we can't bring our win percentage up a little bit more. Jake.
I feel good about these.
We're going to start with you, Jake. And you're going with a movie I am incredibly excited about.
Oh, so excited for it. Luckily for us too, this is an announced line that you are going to be able to invest in. It is not currently active, so getting ahead of the curve here a little bit. But these are the numbers that it's going to open as, with 45% Rotten Tomato score as an opportunity. For those who aren't familiar with him, it is a kind of a sports movie mixed with a horror movie. But perhaps most importantly, I think we all know who the producer of this movie is. If you take one look at the cover, this is a Jordan Peele film. And when you look at Jordan Peele films, specifically films that he has been a producer on, Monkey Man, 89%. Wendell and Wild, 80%. Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul, 72%. Nope, 83%. Candyman, 84%. The guy makes damn good movies that critics love. So this is one where you're going to be able to manipulate this line. The other option that's currently out there is 60% that it looks like it's going to open as, being able to invest in over 45 or over 60. Both of them are great options. Quite literally, the worst rated film that he is a producer on is Keanu, which
I knew it. That was my guess. I was like, I bet it's that stupid cat movie.
Which 78%. Like,
wow.
He makes films critics love. So this is going to be one that I'm going to heavily invest in.
Trash.
He's kind of like an auto smash the over. I probably won't. Like maybe when it comes out to streaming, it's a little too horror-y. I don't know. It was like it had me in the first half, and then the second half I was like, ooh. But it's intriguing, and I think like definitely like smash the over. It will be
1,000%.
easy over.
Absolutely.
45,
This is a smash.
60%, 75%.
Yeah, this is a smash the over on this and go to bed on it. Like,
Yeah.
get good. Like, you don't have to even think about this twice.
But this is one what even once the line starts to shift, I'm going to heavily be on the over.
Yeah,
Mhm.
even at 60%, I'm pretty heavy on that. Like, being like, yes, this is good.
Yeah.
Also, can we get a little love for Marlon Wayans being like not only in like a horror movie, but like not even like one of those cheesy like end of your career slasher movies that they kill you off and have you on as like a little celebrity fun thing. This is him like doing something we've never seen him do.
It's lit again. This is another one where just like starting to get some of the promotional material like under my under my purview and learn a little bit more about it. Like, damn,
Yeah,
did not expect that out of him.
yeah, it looks really good. It looks really good.
I think it's going to be a big one.
Trash, what's the last horror movie you willingly sat down and watched?
Oh god. If you're counting things that kind of go into like the psychological thriller, what was that one with like Jodie Foster, Flight Plan, and like the Have You Checked the Children? It was like that era, and there were a couple that my friends kind of convinced me to watch, and like every single one of them, it was just a nope, 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 and that was like the end of it.
I think the Have You Checked the Children's When a Stranger Calls.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yep.
Fun fact, I am actually alive today because of the original When a Stranger Calls movie. I'm going to tell this story, and it sounds insane, and it's true. Sorry, Dad. I'm going to tell this and embarrass you. My dad was on a date before he met my mom, and they went to see When a Stranger Calls. And my dad is also not a big horror movie fan. He does not like them, but this girl he was on a date with wanted to see this movie. She was very excited. There was a jump scare in the movie that made him scream so loud that the girl got the ick and was just like, I'm done. My dad ends up meeting my mom. Here I am. So thank you, When a Stranger Calls. You'll always have a place in my heart. For my Kalshi pick, my little cut, if you will, I did something I never thought I would do. I am betting on Jared Leto to deliver like a half decent movie with Tron Ares. Normally you say Jared Leto and I'm like, this movie's going to suck. I saw a trailer. I saw the trailer and I was like, oh, that looks good. That looks fun. And you know why I think it looks pretty good? Jared Leto doesn't seem to talk much in it.
Well,
yeah.
You're not wrong.
Like, he doesn't seem to talk much in it. Like, he's a very silent, like, stoic character. And I'm like, okay. Because he's a very stylized looking human. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, he can pull off, like, a very brooding, menacing look with, like, the long black hair and the whole thing. Right? It just looked really cool. And I'm like, I think just on the visuals alone, this thing will pull a 60, 65, 70. If Jared Leto even resembles something close to an idea of competence, I think this movie's going to do fine. I think we'll see a certified fresh out of it.
Where I have some concern, the last Tron movie that came in only at 51%, but again, still over this current rating of 45. Also, past Jared Leto, pretty solid cast. Evan Peters is in this. Jeff Bridges, Cameron Monaghan, Sarah Desjardins, Gillian Anderson, Hassan Minaj. Like, pretty solid cast of names overall.
I love Gillian Anderson.
So, Jake, do you have the scores of the other Trons?
I do.
This feels like a Jake question. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got.
Because I feel like
check these, but I'm in.
Yeah, I don't like. Maybe 45 is a low bar to clear. I don't know. Jared Leto's.
It just doesn't feel like it's a Jared Leto vehicle. As weird as that sounds,
true.
I know he's the star, but like you're not seeing this for Jared Leto. They're not like, come see Jared Leto. They're like, it's Tron.
He's
Tron,
very.
Tron. He has that futuristic face. You know, kind of uncanny valley look to him.
But yeah, so the original Tron came in at 74%, and then the 2010 release is what I was talking about previously at 51%.
I'm shocked. People seem to like. Time has been very good to Tron Legacy then, because
Yeah, I think that's
like,
what
don't
it
you hear
is.
people talk about it like it was like one of the greatest movies of the 2010s, maybe ever?
I
Like,
think it's one of
Yeah.
those that like story. It was the Tron story. Like we know what it is. We knew what we were getting into with that. I think the visuals were great for the time. I say that like this came out 15 years ago, but stunning visually. It does have a higher popcorn meter than tomato meter. Popcorn meter's got it at 64%. So it was one that the fans always liked more than the critics.
yeah, I don't know. I'm in on Tron Ares. I think it's gonna do well. I think it's gonna do well. Trash, you did something that I didn't think anyone on this show would do ever. And that is you picked a movie I have never even heard of until right now. Like, I'm not even sure if this is the right picture, but I'm pulling it up anyway.
Yeah. Well, so here's the weird thing. I hadn't heard of this movie either. I was just like browsing lines on Kalshi on the Rotten Tomatoes lines to like, see one. And I was like, what's this movie? I Googled it and I was like, this is a movie and it's starring Sydney Sweeney, if you didn't see by that thumbnail there. And no one is talking about that. They're talking about Sydney Sweeney and everything else.
Yeah.
It has Halsey in it. It has a few other like kind of big name people. It's very interesting. It's like a heist movie set in South Dakota, which shout out South Dakota because I used to live there. So, soft spot in my heart.
No, wait a minute. Hang on. We got to pause
Yeah.
for a second. You can't just fast forward through what you just said like you didn't just say it. You lived in South Dakota.
Yeah.
You move out of South Dakota.
Yeah.
And your thought is,
Vermont's home.
I'm going to move somewhere that's just slightly less populated.
It's blue South Dakota.
Yeah.
And it's home. Anyway. But yeah, so it takes place in a little South Dakota town. So, I know it. And there's basically Sydney Sweeney overhears like a plot that somebody is trying to get a Native American coat or jacket stolen. They'll pay good money for it. A heist ensues. There's like a kid. There's Halsey. There's all kinds of other people, like, multi-character storyline chaos. And it looks pretty good. And it's interestingly, it had a big jump in the lines. So you can get other lines at other percentages. There's an 80% line, and I was kind of contemplating that. It jumped up recently from like 78 to, or maybe I'm going to mess up what these lines are. Regardless, I think under 80, I think it's going to do really well. Don't get me wrong. I just think the under 85 is kind of a little juicy. Like, I don't think it's going over 85. So I'm like, I think it's a good bet. I think it's going to be a great movie. I'm really looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, 85 is a good number because it's like that takes into account just some people who may not even, who could actually walk in there as critics and be like, I don't like Sydney Sweeney. This is a no for me. You know what I mean?
And where I think it could lose it is there's this like, it's a Native American jacket. And I think from what I saw of the trailer, like it seems like they're more or less like doing the right thing. They're casting Native American people to play Native American characters and like hopefully trying to be respectful, but you just never know in this political climate. Like that could also keep it under for some people. So yeah, it's kind of like I think it's a good line, but
Where
like an interesting movie.
Just what I'm looking at so far, going on its Rotten Tomatoes, it only has 7 reviews currently. All of them are positive reviews. Where I start to get a little bit concerned is it looks like this debuted at South by Southwest in 2023. So this has been made for some time, it seems.
And just held.
Yeah, I don't know if it ended up in, production purgatory or whatever they call it, but
yeah,
it's definitely been around for a while. Where it has some hope is they do try and on Rotten Tomatoes website, for anybody who isn't familiar, they do kind of compare it to other films of similar genres, themes, producers, cast, etc. All of them are sitting at 80 to 97% even on the comparative movies. So
interesting.
They're expecting it to be a well-received film. It seems like.
I mean, it's not like Trash is, and it's not like she's betting that it's going to be under 40, right?
Exactly.
Like she's saying it's going to be very good. But we got to keep the show rolling here. So we're going to dive into Mount Rushmore next. This is hopefully we've made you money. The math is saying you should trust us on this, that we're going to be right, especially trash. But we're going to move on to Mount Rushmore. We're going to do a little bit of a quicker segment of it, but we're going to bring you a Mount Rushmore of sports movies on the other side of this drop. We'll see you there.
Best of the best, mountains in the west, the stories will last, the present and past.
Y'all don't need to say it. We know. The drop needs work. We're aware. We're aware. All right. This week, we're doing the Mount Rushmore of sports movies. And this topic is courtesy of Trash Sandwiches herself. Trash, what made you think of sports movies?
I just figured, like, it's a fun topic. There's a lot of sports movies out there. The Happy Gilmore movie, Happy Gilmore 2 that just came out, you put the Happy Gilmore image down there. So, like, you know, it's very funny, though, because I pitched this and, like, you were a little lukewarm on it. And then later being like, oh, man, I only picked, like, comedies for it. And I'm like, I mean, what do you think? Because it's fun. Like, I don't like serious sports movies.
Yeah, I got to be honest.
I don't know. I picked it, but I was like, well...
Yeah, I'll be perfectly honest, and all our listeners, I feel I owe you as much honesty as possible. I hate sports movies. Like, I hate them.
I think your list is great, though.
I know, because I only like sports movies that make fun of sports movies that take themselves seriously. I played sports my whole life. I still do. I'm in leagues. Jake and I are both in leagues. We both played sports our whole lives. I hate sports movies. Hate them.
It's kind of the epitome of like the same reason like people who are in the military don't like watching military movies. It's like I sit there the entire time for the most part and I'm like, that's wrong. That looks like shit. That's not how you play football. Like I just see all of this dumb stuff and I'm like, it takes me out of it.
It's also like serious. Like they take themselves so seriously. Like Field of Dreams and shit like that take itself so seriously. So let's start. Jake, you're the only one who has like I feel like you have maybe the most serious ones on here. I feel like three of yours are very like they buy their bullshit and you rewarded them for it, and that's your right. Take us through your list.
Yeah, so starting off, I put Bull Durham on there. It's one of the best baseball movies ever made. It shows the hell that is minor league baseball down in a small town, tells a fun story. You know, you get to watch this guy grow up in front of our eyes, even though apparently he was walking and striking out 18 people per game. And then within 3 months, they were like, "Dang, he's ready for the majors." Wouldn't happen. But
that
again,
whip is out of control.
Good old Nuke LaLoosh. But still a very solid movie, very fun one to watch. It's a classic. My wife even likes it. That's normally a sign of a good sports movie for me, is my wife enjoys it, because zero interest from that side of things from her. I follow that up with Moneyball. Again, it's a sports movie, but it's not. It's more of a story against, going against the grain and doing stuff people think is wrong and just proving that maybe you do actually know what you're talking about sometimes. Again, I like that part more than any of the sports. Again, not much actual sports sequence happens in the movie.
Right.
I'd say as much.
Moneyball is like a fantasy sports managers kind of movie, know, like.
It's for all of us who like Moneyball is like for all of us who play like the franchise modes and all the sports games, but just simulate and just play GM in the offseason to see like how we can have the team do.
Literally.
That's kind of what Moneyball is.
Exactly. Honestly, I think as much of the sport part of the movie that is acted out is just actual game footage they took from the Oakland
Athletics. They do that a lot.
I'm pretty sure it is,
the actors trying to do it. But even, and this is where I do give Moneyball some credit, the actors actually did kind of seem like they knew how to swing a bat, throw a ball.
Yeah, that's another thing I hate about sports movies is like, why are they all so bad at it?
Yeah, it's like, you're supposed to be the best hitter in the league and you swing like that, I'm out.
Yeah.
But I follow that up with by far, I think, the most serious movie on any of our lists here with The Iron Claw.
Yeah.
For those who aren't familiar with the story of the Von Erich family, it surmises that in like 2 hours and 40 minutes. And somehow I kind of wish it was longer just to actually get the full accurate story and not have to.
It's a tragic story. Like
Yeah.
those people, like they suffered. They really suffered for their art. And
Yeah.
what do you got rounding it out?
Follow that one up with Major League. And that one's just a pure, it's
Classic.
fun. It's so
Yeah.
fun.
That's classic.
I still can't hear Wild Thing without thinking of Rick Wild Thing Vaughn.
When I played in college, we got our own walkout music as relievers. And one of my teammates came out to Wild Thing, and I thought it was the funniest thing in the world. And he was, in fact, quite wild with his fastball. Trash. You got a good list. There's one on here. I don't know what it is.
Oh, I bet I know which one it is.
Yeah,
First one, which I'm sure is not the one that you don't know what it is. It's Draft Day. I know
Yeah.
you like Draft Day. I don't care. I love Draft Day. I think there's something about it, and that is for sure the fantasy football like nerd manager
Oh, yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of movie. And I love it. And also shout out to the fantasy football or the Draft Day spoof that we did for Pulp Fantasy way back when. I just love that movie. Like it's a classic in my mind.
Sure.
One that you probably don't know, Stick It. Stick It.
Yeah.
It is a gem of a movie. If you haven't seen it, you need to find this movie and watch it. It is about gymnastics, so it's kind of like Bring It On, which is also on my list. I will give that one, and like you have to like Bring It On. It's the classic. It's the cheerleaders. They're
Yeah.
sassy and fun. Like it's just you have to. Stick It is gymnastics, but like she's a troubled teen who it's either gymnastics or juvie, and like
Oh my god.
she
What
gets
the-
stuck in gymnastics and it's worse than juvie. Like
Oh my
it's
god.
wild. It's terrible. It's stupid. It's not called gymnastics. It's iconic in its own way.
Yeah, I guess.
And
so.
is somehow like the fourth different Jeff Bridges movie we've brought up on this episode so far. So shout out
yeah.
Jeff Bridges.
He's doing a lot of sports movies.
Kevin
That makes
Costner's
sense,
also in
so-
about all. I think Kevin Costner's in all of these movies as well because one thing Kevin Costner loves is a good baseball movie or sports movie in general.
I can think
It's
of
true.
two that he was in at least.
Bull
Yeah.
Durham, Draft Day. Yeah, he's in a few.
Oh, one we didn't name For Love of the Game.
Field of Dreams as well.
Yeah. Get that man
Loves
in
a good
baseball
baseball
movies, late 80s, early 90s.
And
Is
round
he
it out,
in-
trash.
My final one here is Cool Runnings, the Jamaican bobsled team. And that movie makes me cry every time. Like, it's sweet, it's beautiful, it gives you heart and love, and like, it's so funny, it's so cute.
You want to know what's so disappointing? Like one of the most disappointing things about my boyfriend is he doesn't cry at movies at all.
No.
It's tough.
Not even a tear. Like nothing. I'm like, what is this? What is
Yeah.
this? I can't be the only one crying at a movie. Like I don't really cry that often, but I cry at movies, and I'm like, what do you can't just have me do this by myself. This is not a solo activity.
Yeah. We're watching
Like-
this movie together, we're crying together.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's rude. It's rude. All right. Here are my four. And everyone can yell at me if they want, but I love a good Will Ferrell flick. Talladega Nights, Blades of Glory. Bang, bang. Doesn't get much better than that in terms of sports movies. I love every second of every one of those movies.
Yep.
They're
Two
so
movies.
funny.
Two movies I can probably go word for word with 98% of it.
Yeah.
I
not
make like a
missing.
lot of Talladega references still in everyday life.
Yeah, Blades of Glory might be one of my favorite movies ever. It's like a good comfort movie for me. I watch it all the time when I'm like just kind of going through like a funk. So I love those two. Then I went with Dodgeball. I don't need to justify Dodgeball to anybody.
You can
Ben
dodge a wrench,
Stiller-
you can dodge a ball.
Ben Stiller has never been better in a movie, in my opinion, than he was in Dodgeball. White Goodman is one of the funniest characters it's so funny. And then I know I used Happy Gilmore too, the picture down there, but it's only because it was a good resolution. It's actually the original, the OG, Happy Gilmore. Shout out to my neighbor at the beach, Terry O'Reilly, whose jersey Adam Sandler wore that entire movie. Yes,
That's
Terry
pretty sick.
O'Reilly, formerly of the Boston Bruins. My dad is so excited that he lives next to us. And I will be honest, I am not a hockey fan, but I have heard of Terry O'Reilly because I am a Boston boy. So I know him through that. But those are our Mount Rushmores. Comment below. Let us know which one is the best of that, and give us your Mount Rushmore of sports movies. Or if you hate sports movies, give us your Mount Rushmore of the worst sports movies anyone's ever forced you to watch.
And I will give you an acceptable way to start off your Mount Rushmore of worst sports movies. Field of Dreams belongs on there. It's a terrible movie.
I agree. What an awful movie. What an awful.
If I could make that, I honestly could make that all 4 of my worst sports movies on my Mount Rushmore, and I don't think I would make an argument against myself.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with you on that.
But there's only one.
I would agree with you on those. We're going to do something different here because we're about to go to Hear Me Out, and normally that means each of us is bringing a hot take. But this time we're going to do something different, and I'm going to make you guys play a game that I have now dubbed, and this is patent pending, so don't steal it. It's called Cast, Cut, or Extra, and I will explain the rules to it on the other side of the drop. Let's get to it.
Maybe nostalgia's got you blind, or maybe I just see it right. I know, you wanna shout, but before you shut me down, just hear me out. Hear me out. I'm not afraid to take the heat. Hear me out. I'll die on this hill if I need. You can fight it, you can hate it, but you'll never say I forget. Hear me out. I got hot takes on
Yes, dare to be bold. That is the headline or tagline for Hear Me Out. We are playing a game. It's called Cast, Cut, or Extra. The rules are as follows. I am going to give you 3 actors. We're going to do a series of these. You are to cast one as the star of your movie. You are to cut one where they will get no work ever again. And one will be a background extra in your movie. So really, I'm asking you, it's start, bench, or cut, right, for us fantasy football fans, but done for movies.
Can I ask a very important clarifying question?
Yes.
Are you also going to give us the genre of film that we're making with these actors, actresses?
I will say this. It is a blockbuster movie you are making.
All right.
You are tasked with creating the next summer blockbuster with these actors, okay? And this is what you got. Okay?
All right.
Your first 3 are your typical handsome leading men type. Chris Hemsworth, Michael B. Jordan, and Ryan Gosling. You must cast one, cut one, and make one a background extra. That means no lines and no FaceTime.
This one's extremely easy for me.
All right, then kick it off.
Yeah. So my star, my cast is going to be Michael B. Jordan.
Okay.
Easy. My extra is going to be Chris Hemsworth.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan Gosling can get the fuck out.
All right. Where Jake has dumped Ryan Gosling. The only, I think he's the only Oscar winner here. I think he's the only one who's been in an Oscar-winning movie. So
he got lucky. It wasn't because of him. He's not.
It's a tough. Trash. Do you have a harder time with these 3?
I mean, I might flop Chris Hemsworth and Michael B. Jordan, but I'm cutting Ryan Gosling. That was the easy one.
Yeah.
Wow. I thought he would be the right guy to like split the difference between the two and like make it like a little trickier.
No, he was the easy out for me. I'm not in general, not a Ryan Gosling fan. I don't think he's as attractive as the other 2 personally, as a straight man. I'm putting that out there. But Michael B. Jordan, you're telling me I'm making a blockbuster.
Yes.
I want more in the now names, and I don't feel like Ryan Gosling. I feel like Ryan Gosling's peak has passed him by.
That's fair because he was in a summer blockbuster with Fall Guy and it flopped hard.
Mm-hmm. I think there's something about he kind of has always like bothered me a little bit, annoyed me a little bit, and then he took on the role of Ken, and there's something about now I can't like unsee him as Ken, and maybe
Oh
that's
yeah, he was
weird.
Ken too. I
But he
forgot.
like kind of became Ken in a strange way, and like I think he just has that Ken energy now permanently, and
Mhm.
he's always going to be a little
Kenergy, that's crazy. That's a crazy thing to call.
just
I love that.
I,
That's
I
amazing.
I also feel like he's the only one that like I feel like if I'm casting him in a movie as a casting director, I feel like I'm typecasting. Whereas like Michael B. Jordan and Chris Hemsworth, I feel like I can get away with a lot more.
Okay. Okay. I feel like my little brother would have issue with this because I think he loves Ryan Gosling, but that's okay. All
What's
right.
your pick?
Oh, I did not expect it to have flipped on me. I'd cast Hemsworth, make Michael B. Jordan. Although, yeah, Michael B. Jordan would be the extra. I'd cut Gosling too.
See?
Yep.
Sorry, Ryan, dude. You're on the outs with us. All right. Your next three: Emma Stone, Zendaya, and Margot Robbie. Trash, start us off.
Oh gosh, it's interesting that you went with Barbie from the Barbie movie.
I did.
I think Zendaya is my cast. I think Emma Stone is my extra and Margot Robbie is my cut. But I might flip Emma and Margot. Oof. Zendaya is my cast. I love Zendaya.
I love Zendaya.
She's my girl.
Jake, what about you? What are you going with?
Yeah, I don't think I'm straying too much here. I'm casting Zendaya. Emma Stone could be my extra. Margot Robbie's she gone.
Okay. I'm going to cast Emma Stone. I'm going to extra Zendaya, and I'm going to cut Margot Robbie. Which is kind of like, so wait a minute. Who did we all cut?
Margot Robbie.
Margot.
Oh. Wow,
just said Barbie.
The Barbie movie,
I
which was
love the
such
Barbie
a
movie.
massive like success and such a good movie, and where like that cast can get fucked. Like, get out.
Well, but here's the thing. They did such a good job there that it kind of is hard to like, yeah.
I feel like with Margot Robbie, I either have to cast her as Barbie or as Harley Quinn. And if I'm not trying to make a movie where that's my goal, either of those, then she doesn't really serve a purpose for me in the film.
Oh, I like her in everything though, and it's so hard. I don't like this. Okay. Some MCU men for us here. Cast.
Are we doing this as MCU actors or as MCU?
No,
like,
you're making a movie.
characters?
You're
Okay.
an executive that needs to cast a
Non-MCU movie.
Non-MCU
Great.
movie. Ryan Reynolds, Robert Downey Jr., and Tom Holland. Jake, it's your turn to start.
I know.
This one felt harder. This
is the hardest one by far.
Yeah.
I think I gotta go cast Ryan Reynolds, extra Tom Holland,
okay.
cut Robert Downey Jr. Honestly.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Again, it's a
Jake's making a comedy.
I am, but no, I think it just kind of falls into that same thing that we've been talking about, where it's like, I don't know if I can cast Robert Downey Jr. as anything but Tony Stark. Like,
I don't think you could cast Ryan Reynolds as anything but Deadpool.
Yeah, but every movie he's been in for the past 10 years is just him playing either Deadpool or family-friendly Deadpool.
I know. Yeah, I guess so. Although, you know what? We talked about Imaginary Friend, about If. That was good. He was good in that. That was cute.
Yeah. But he was kind of just, again, family-friendly Deadpool.
Yeah, he was. It was very kid-friendly Deadpool. Trash, who you casting, who you cutting, and who gets relegated to extra work for that minimum wage.
I mean, I almost.
You guys ever been an extra, by the way?
No, but I have actually been in a documentary, like a star of a documentary, it was like a multi-character kind of thing about a day in the life of our small town Vermont, whatever.
I auditioned for Barney one time.
That's fun.
Aww.
Do you want to hear my tragic acting story? You want to hear how I was almost an actor?
Yes.
I do.
I got cast in a series as a series regular that was going to be an Amazon Prime show, and COVID hit and they shut down the production and then canceled the project.
Damn.
I have been an extra. I have been an extra. And I wound up, yeah, that was devastating. But anyway, Trash, who are you casting of these three?
I was tempted to go the same way as Jake for the sake of differentiating because, yeah, Ryan Reynolds is a little too typecast. No, because Ryan Reynolds is a little too typecast, and I do really like Tom Holland, and I think Tom Holland can easily lead my movie. I will cast him. I will make Ryan Reynolds the extra. He'll be like the uncle who will be a Deadpool, either family friendly or not family friendly.
Sure. Okay.
And Robert Downey Jr. can get fucked.
Wow.
He is Tony Stark. He is that asshole. It doesn't matter. And it's not necessarily like the Iron Man Tony Stark. It's just the asshole.
Okay.
It's the asshole.
I see what you're saying.
He just
I understand what you're
is
saying.
an asshole.
Yeah, like even when he was redeeming in Iron Man or any of the MCU movies, he was redeeming while still being an asshole. Like
there's such a like asshole tinge to everything that he does personally, professionally, like any character he plays. I don't know.
I will say I am a big Robert Downey Jr. fan.
I am
so
too.
much so that he is easily my cast of the three of these guys. Ryan Reynolds, I'll give the extra to. He can be in the background. He can wave. I don't care. Tom Holland to me is maybe one of the most overrated actors on the planet. I've never seen anything he's been in besides Spider-Man and been like, that was a good movie. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed Tom Holland in blah, blah, blah. It doesn't happen. I saw Chaos Walking. That was terrible. I saw Uncharted. That was terrible. I watched Cherry. That was terrible. I'm like, I think Tom Holland is really good at one thing in particular, and that's crying. I think he's a really, really good crier.
Yeah, very true.
Does Spider-Man cry a lot?
Yeah, he cries all the fucking time in those movies. That dude is always crying. Like,
I'm gonna rewatch Spider-Man.
What's annoying is that like it's not even like Uncle Ben dies in the MCU. You know what I mean? He's already been dead, so it's not like he's crying over that. He's crying over other shit. That kid's always fucking crying. All right, ready for the next three? We're gonna go a little bit quicker here, but we're not gonna speed because whatever. Back to the women: Anya Taylor-Joy, Florence Pugh, and Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, you put them in order for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're casting Anya Taylor-Joy, cutting Florence Pugh, and extra Jennifer Lawrence?
Yep. Not a big Florence Pugh fan. I don't.
Wow.
I feel like she never makes the movie. I feel like I could recast her very easily in a lot of movies, and I feel like I could have done better than her casting. Ooh. I'm not blown away by her work.
Trash, what about you?
I think I'm going to cast Jennifer Lawrence. She's my girl. I love Hunger Games.
Love her.
I'm going to make Florence Pugh the extra. And maybe I just haven't really seen anything big that Anya Taylor-Joy has been in, but yeah, I think it might just be that, but I'm like,
fantastic. I will say this. Anya Taylor-Joy is fantastic. Anya Taylor-Joy, though, is a very specific type of fantastic that, like, you have to have a movie where you either want her to look like a Tim Burton character or, like, it has to be somewhat unsettling, weird movie because Anya Taylor-Joy kind of looks like she comes right out of a Tim Burton movie. She's very pretty, but she's got like really big eyes and like very like and a lot drier, I guess. Like she's kind of like a flatter affect. So sometimes but I would be with you, Trash. I actually would say that's exactly how I would go to. Jennifer Lawrence to me is like anything she's in, I'm all about. So I love it. Final one for you guys, and I'm curious if this is going to be easy or difficult. Cillian Murphy, Timothée Chalamet, and Pedro Pascal.
This is very easy for me. I'll let Trash go first, but this one is very easy for me.
I'm torn on this one. So
I'm torn on the cast versus extra. The easy cut is Timothée Chalamet. I don't know.
That's where I'm at too. I'm also
is.
Yeah.
I'll probably go cast Cillian Murphy and extra Pedro Pascal. I feel like Pedro Pascal is getting a little too like there's something. He's getting a little too something these days.
I would flip that, but I'm with you that Chalamet's gotta go.
Yeah. All right. I'm casting Pedro.
I'm also casting Pedro, so I'm with you.
My extra is Timothy, and I'm cutting Cillian
really?
Murphy. Yeah.
Really? Oh,
That
wow.
surprises me, actually. Yeah. I feel
It's-
That
like
is a little surprising.
Again,
Yeah.
like it's hard in the sense of, again, I love all of them. And maybe I'm thinking about this too literally. And Steve is like, you're making a blockbuster movie right now. It's got to be the hit of the summer. I don't know if Killian's the draw that the other two are for me in a blockbuster in
That's fair.
2025.
That's part of the
Yeah.
game. That is part of the game. Well, thank you for playing, guys. But we've reached that sad part of the show where it's time for us to say goodbye to the fans, to the people. If you've made it, if you've stuck with us this long, please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your family, tell us how great we are, tell us how bad we are. Regardless of what you say about us, traffic is traffic, and we'll take it in any way we can get. If you or anyone you know has been personally victimized by a bad movie, drop it below. We're happy to rip that one a new one too. If you have
by
recommendations,
Field of Dreams.
by Field of Dreams especially, if you have recommendations for topics for Mount Rushmore or for Hear Me Out, we'd love to hear it and maybe get to it, or trailer time even. For myself, for Trash Sandwiches, for Jake Parry, this has been another episode of Popcorn and Root Beer. Thank you so much for your time. We hope we made you some money. If we haven't, womp womp. See you guys next time. Bye.